Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita and today I'm here to talk to you about the two worst Little Mermaid retellings I have ever read. And unfortunately, they both happened in the same year. Go figure. So anyway, I absolutely love fairy tale retellings. There's something about them that just really speaks to my soul. It's really hard for me to find one that I absolutely dislike a lot. And these two have actually hit that mark for me. So I dislike them for various reasons. I will get into them, and also if these are your favorite books, that is great. I'm happy for you. I did not like them, and I'm going to explain to you why I did not like them. So let's just get into the first book, and that is The Seafarers Kiss by Julia Ember. I have a lot of feelings about this book, and my friends that are watching this are probably rolling their eyes because they've heard all of them before. But this is supposed to be a female Little Mermaid retelling with Vikings and Norse mythology, and it's just supposed to be it just ticked all of my boxes when I heard about it. I was like, yes, please, this sounds absolutely amazing. I want to read this. It sounds so different and such an interesting take on the story. First, let me just talk about some basic things that are issues with this that have nothing really to do with the plot, but with the actual world building. First of all, she did not read this book as she was going through, because she would say something in the beginning which turned out not to be true in the end. Or, it's just a plot hole and it's like, well, I want it to be like this, so I'm not going to explain why this works. For example, these mermaids live in the Arctic or something, in a really, really cold climate. And in order to stay alive, they need to go to the surface and get energy from the sun in order to stay warm, or they will freeze to death. Great. That makes sense. Okay, I'm all for that. That's how she meets the Viking chick. Okay, cool. That makes sense. But later on in the story, towards the end, the plot twist makes no sense if you remember that simple fact. It makes no sense because that person cannot be alive. It just makes no sense, but we're just gonna keep it in the story. It's never explained, and I don't understand how she never caught it, an editor never caught it, and then it was like, yeah, that's fine. That's not important. So there's that. There's also the fact that, and I'll get into this a little bit more later, but their fertility is incredibly important. The mermaids' fertility in this world is very important. I believe it's because there's so few of them left now. As a population, that they need to be able to populate. Anyway, so their fertility is very, very important. And they go through this test to figure out their fertility and whatever. So, but then when they're explaining it, it's like, okay, do you follow the patterns of birth for a person, for a human, or for a fish? It would be one or the other, right? Well, it's part fish, part bird. Where is that incubating part coming from? It really makes no sense, because I've never, and granted, I don't know all the fish in the sea, but fish don't incubate things. That's not how they do it. They might watch over their eggs, but they don't incubate them. But here, they have to incubate them. But people don't incubate them. I mean, they're in their stomach and they're being incubated, sure. The uterus, sure, but not out in the world. You don't incubate a baby after it's already been born, unless it's a preemie. But that's a medical thing. That's not a natural thing. So how does that work? I don't understand. So then those are just big holes and things that didn't make sense to me in general. It's did you think this one through? Apparently not. So now to get into, I'm going to try and keep this very short because there's so many issues I had with this book. But okay, so two really big things with this main character and other people in her world. So she had a best friend that when they were little, they were going to run away and do all these things and go on adventures, whatever. Well, as they grew up, he decides that he doesn't want to run away. He's okay living in this society. He wants to be a part of the society. So she feels so betrayed by the fact that he grew up that she refuses to talk to him. She absolutely hates him. It's then you weren't his friend. You're a piece of shit person to begin with, because that's not your friend. Friends grow up. I mean, when you're little, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was little. Do you think I'm an astronaut now? No. If my friends from when I was little stopped being my friend because I'm not an astronaut, they were never really my friends. So that in and of itself was like a really fucked up relationship. Also, like I said, fertility is so important in this story that and she's like, I don't care about having children. I'm special. I'm the special butterfly. I don't care about all that. And there's this one girl that what she really, really wants is to have children. Like, that is her goal. And that is a great goal for people. But this main character poo-poos all over her and thinks that she's better than her because she doesn't have that dream. And I hate that. Because there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a family and all that stuff, but it's villainized in this book, I feel like. I felt like, since I want to have a family at some point, and I don't want to be some free-flitting mermaid that, you know, I was being looked down upon, and I really, really disliked that. Moving on, I have so many feelings and thoughts. The last thing I'm going to say about this that's incredibly problematic for me is the fact that the main character, Ursula and Ragna, the Viking that she falls in love with, at one point they get angry at each other and they start hitting each other, like throwing fists and stuff. And once they're done, they're like, oh, well, I got my punches in, you got your punches in, everything's fine. And they like move on. And that is not okay. And it's never really addressed in the book. And I absolutely hate that because, first of all, hitting your partner is never okay. But also, we should not be condoning that in same-sex couples as well. Like they need more shit in their life. So I really, really resented that, and that it was never really addressed, and it was like, oh, everything's fine. No, that's not okay. And I lied. There is one more thing. Loki was handled so poorly in this book. He's the villain of the book, but he's also like portrayed to be, I don't know the right word, but I think it's gender fluid. And I just really resent that the gender fluid character in this book was the villain, because I feel like that kind of really sets things back for people who really are gender fluid. And there's so many issues with this book, and it's such a small book. It's like just over 200 pages for so many problems to be in it. And I really, really resent this book and that it was ever published, and that there is a sequel coming out to it. I will not read it. I do not care. I resent everything about this book, and the only reason I've kept it was to make a video about it. So there. That's the first book, and we've already spent forever on it. So just bear with me through the second book. And that book is The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. And first of all, this book is absolutely stunning. That's the first thing that caught my eye about this. And I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but come on, look how gorgeous that is. So I started looking into it, reading more about it, and this is supposed to be a feminist retelling of The Little Mermaid. And I can't really say that it was. It was a man-hating version of The Little Mermaid. Sure, that it was, but I would not call this feminist. And if you call this feminist, I'm really questioning your thoughts and opinions on femininity and like on the feminist movement and stuff. Feminism. That's the word that would not come to my mind. Feminism. So again, Little Mermaid retelling. I believe that this one really follows the original a lot more. So basically she goes to the sea witch and she gets legs, but every step she takes on her legs is complete and utter agony, and at one point like her bones start showing through because it's really, really bad. So that was kind of cool. But also, one thing I really, really resented about this book was that it was like Louise O'Neill thought that I was too stupid to understand certain things she was talking about, like how the men were oppressing the women in this society of the mermaids. And it's like, that is so obvious, but she kept beating me on the head with men are shit, men are bad, men are controlling, men are this, men are that, and poor women, like that. I got it. You did not need to beat me in the head with that. It was really, really clear to begin with, and it was like beating a dead horse when it came to that. Also, the fact that when the Little Mermaid goes to the sea witch is, by her definition, fat, and she like throws that at her as an insult, and I really didn't like that. It's like that. I don't like people trying to hurt other people by calling them fat. The sea witch was perfectly fine. Like, she was like, I don't give a shit. I am. Who cares? But I don't like that being... And she does it multiple times. It's like, can we just stop? We get it. She has more weight than you do. Like, let it go. But she couldn't let the... Like, the Little Mermaid could not let the fact that the Sea Witch was bigger than her. Like, she couldn't let it go. Didn't care for that. I liked the Sulkas in this story because it's not just about mermaids, it's also about the Sulkas or Rusalkas. Anyway, which are women who were killed horribly, like, in water, and they come and they seek their revenge, and they, like, kill men. So they're like revenge killing mermaid type things. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't like the ending though, where it's like, well, we're gonna get the Little Mermaid out of this, everything's gonna be great, and how all of a sudden she has all these like great powers that she doesn't really understand, she never knew she had, but somehow she can control them and she can like take down all the bad guys. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, I just learned that I had these magical powers. Now I have mastered them in the space of 2 seconds and everybody can, you know, be free, and it's just too convenient. I didn't like the ending either. There's nothing about this book that I particularly enjoy except for the cover. That's literally the best thing about this book, in my humble opinion. It was not good. That being said, it was still better than the Seafarers Kiss, because that's just trash. Honestly, save your money. Don't even buy it. If you want to read it, get it from the library or something. I don't think it is worth a dime. So those are the 2 worst Little Mermaid retellings I have ever read. I am sorry if I got a little heated at a couple points, but there's just so many things. And I didn't even touch on half the stuff I didn't like. But that's it. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read these books, if you share the same opinions as I do, or if you have completely different opinions. If you liked them, let me know. I'm very interested in having a conversation about these books. Tell me why you liked them. Tell me why you didn't. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!